So, Mr. Guide, where are we going today? The war?
Basically, there's also the Amsterdam Cathedral. It's freaking hot.
It's freaking hot, actually.
I just ran this morning.
Preparing for his 50K.
A little history. During the early 1800th century, many European nations had entered the race to acquire colonies all over the globe. For resources dominance, France had put a special interest on Cambodia, Laos, and South Vietnam region. In the early 1700s, what started as a missionary expedition continued on with trades. Perhaps the political instability in the region allowed the French government to have more control. Eventually, through a series of treaties and agreements, Indochina became a French colony. This slide shows the Treaty of Saigon in 1862. That marks the beginning of French rule in Vietnam. Under the French colonial rule, Vietnam was divided into Tonkin in the north, Annam in the middle, and Cochin China in the south, each with separate rule. To bring Western civilization to Vietnam meant a complete overhaul of education, culture, and social-political structure. Not only was French taught in school, the Vietnamese language, which employed thousands of Chinese characters, were Romanized. As a consequence, Vietnamese people were introduced to the French way of living. In addition, Catholicism became the official religion. The French legal framework, based on Napoleonic Code as well as the political system, was introduced. Finally, in an effort to modernize Vietnam, railroads and electricity was introduced by the French government. The easiest way to spot French influence in Vietnam are the buildings and cuisines. Let's check it out. By the way, for food episode, please follow me and see episode 2 on Ho Chi Minh City. Thanks. All the government administrative buildings in the city are representative of the French colonial style. These buildings are typically characterized by the following. Number 1. Grand facades with symmetrical designs, elaborate ornamentation, and decorative details such as pilasters, columns, and cornices. These facades typically convey a sense of grandeur and prestige. Number 2. Shuttered windows and balconies. These architectural elements were adapted to suit the tropical climate of the region, providing shade and ventilation. Number 3. Stuccoed walls provides a smooth and durable exterior finish, often painted in pastel colors, such as cream, yellow, or light blue, adding to the architectural charm of the buildings. Now we are going to visit the Notre Cathedral and the Central Post Office. The Notre Dame Cathedral Basilica of Saigon, constructed from 1863 to 1880 by French architect Jules Berard during French colonial rule, is a symbol of colonial legacy and Catholic influence in Vietnam. Its neo-Romanesque design features twin bell towers and stained glass windows. It witnessed historical events, including the Vietnam War. Over the years, the cathedral underwent renovations and restoration efforts to preserve its architectural beauty and cultural significance. In 1959, a statue of Our Lady of Peace was installed outside the church, made with granite in Rome. Today, it remains a beloved landmark and tourist attraction in the city, reflecting Vietnam's rich history and religious heritage. The Central Post Office in Saigon, built between 1886 and 1891 by French architect Gustave Eiffel, is a historic landmark blending Gothic and French colonial styles. The interior of the Central Post Office in Saigon is characterized by its architectural elegance and historical decor. Highlights include soaring vaulted ceilings with decorative motifs, large arch windows adorned with ironwork, and rows of intricately carved marble columns. Vintage postal boxes, antique telephone booths, and brass fixtures add to the nostalgic ambience.
坐这边是写信的 ，right here. 干嘛 ？What does it do？ 哦，我可以写越南话给我。
The Vietnam War Museum in Saigon, officially known as the War Remnants Museum, is dedicated to preserving the memory of the Vietnam War. Here's a brief history that led to Vietnam War. During World War II, the Japanese occupation of French Indochina weakened French colonial control over the region and provided an opportunity for local nationalist movements to gain momentum. The Viet Minh, led by Ho Chi Minh, emerged as a prominent nationalist movement seeking independence from both French and Japanese rule. At the end of World War II in August 1945, following Japan's surrender to the Allied forces, the Viet Minh launched the August Revolution, seizing control of key cities and declaring the Independent Democratic Republic of Vietnam (DRV) with Ho Chi Minh as the leader. The independence movement by DRV marked the beginning of the First Indochina War from 1946 to 1954. This bloody war contained some major military campaigns filled with guerrilla warfares. The First Indochina War ended with the signing of the Geneva Accords in 1954. The Accords partitioned Vietnam along the 17th parallel, establishing the communist-led DRV in the north and the pro-Western state of Vietnam in the south. The Cold War climate was the major force behind the partition. North Vietnam was backed by former USSR and China on the other hand. South Vietnam was supported by the United States. the division of Vietnam into North and South fueled tensions, and eventually led to the Vietnam War from 1955 to 1975. The North Vietnamese forces captured Saigon on April 30, 1975. This marked the reunification of Vietnam under communist rule and the dissolution of South Vietnam. Now let's check out the panoramic view of Ho Chi Minh City from skydeck of the Bitexco Center. Located at the financial district of the city, the skydeck offers a 360-degree panoramic view of the city. The night view is exceptionally breathtaking. Like a phoenix that rises from fire, Vietnam had risen from the ashes of war through stabilization of economic and social reforms. Now they are proudly marching towards a market-driven and integration into global economy. City offers something for everyone. This is heaven for food travelers. You will never run out of options on all the savory variety of snacks, noodles, and seafood on the street. You will love the imagination and the fusion between Vietnamese and French cooking style. lovers. The city also offers plenty of coffee tasting experiences. From the thin brewed coffee that locals love to egg coffee that belongs to the dessert menu. You will not be disappointed. For the history traveler, the contrasting style between the French colonial architecture and traditional Vietnamese house, known as Notre, will invite you to look deeper into the past. Well, that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for my next episode. Hope you like it.